Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Sandoval. I miss you all. Today I'm going to do a story called The Mitten by Jan Brett. And afterwards, I can do story grammar marker, or you guys have also been sent this sheet and you can do a story grammar marker as well. So you can either do yours before I do mine, or you could listen to mine and then you could do yours and see how yours is different than mine. So let's start the story. Okay. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. At first, his grandmother Baba did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally Baba made them. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you have your snow white mittens. So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in feet first. The mole didn't think that there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. Next, a hedgehog came shuffling along. Having spent the day under wet leaves looking for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. Do you see these talons? Those are his glinty talons. And boy, do they look sharp. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the stray mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked in his muzzle. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave him lots of room. A giant bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten, all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed as tightly as could be, but what animal would argue with a bear? Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. They are really squished into that mitten now. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Achoo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape at the distance. It was a lost mitten, silhouetted against the blue sky. As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. I wonder why Baba's confused, though. Something's different about one mitten and the other mitten. All right, so now on the next flip grid, I'm going to do the story grammar marker. So this will give you a chance to do your own story grammar marker, or you can listen to the second flip grid for mine and then do your own.